or a letter. Well, anyway, it has to do with the mechanics of memory. So I'm kind of meandering on here because I get so excited when I meet these first-time homeschool educators, parents, caregivers, and they are educators, they are teachers. And it enthuses me. I get so enthused when I hear their questions, especially if they're a little overwhelmed. My first answer when I see that they're overwhelmed or, can I do this? I don't know what I'm doing. I look at them and I speak very slowly. I say this, you can do this. And for some reason they believe me. And it's true, you can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. And for the things that you're not comfortable with, there's other options out there. There's online schools. Becca has an online school. Bob Jones has an online school. And if you're a Ron Paul fan, guess what? There's an online school with him too. Tom Woods, one of Ron Paul's right-hand men, and I'm working with him, has started a school, a sort of libertarian school. It's a little weak on math, but oh, is it wonderful on history. History. Oh, it's in critical thought, government as you get up into the higher grades. And it's free from pre-K up to the 6th grade. At 6th grade, you have to start paying for that online school. But what a wonderful start in the fact that it's free for those ages. How could you not look at it as a possibility? It's wonderful. So this is something I'm very passionate about, as I hope you can hear. This is something I love. This is something I never thought I would choose. I went kicking and screaming into homeschooling. Absolutely. So my first curriculum that I started out with was a Becca. And then I discovered Bob Jones. And I loved how visual it was. It had bright, colorful pictures. I mean, the posters were fabulous. And I needed that for my youngest child. My older child did better with a Becca. And I do Bob Jones with my older child. And we do Switched On Schoolhouse, because that is an accredited curriculum. But I still like how the Bob Jones explains certain things. It gets me all excited. And it's a great way to turn what type of day would I call this? Challenging day. It turns a challenging day into something wonderful when I talk about curriculum. It's my drug. I love it. I just really love it. And I do believe in leaning on the understanding of the faith that you believe in. I'm a Christian. I'm used to be sort of a deist, one who believes that God started our whole world, the whole universe, but then he took a step back and let us do our own thing. I think God is more involved now. I've matured and I went to a Christian university, and I'm well versed in many different areas when it comes to that, but I have so much to learn. The older I get, the more I realize I don't have a clue. But I can give a sound understanding of Christianity, which is a building block of our country, and to understand some of our early documents of the Founding Fathers. I think it's good to have a working grasp of Christianity. I think it's important. If being Muslim was important to the Founding Fathers, I think it would be first and foremost to understand the Muslim faith. I mean, it would be first and foremost. My children do learn about different faiths, but it does not mean that they absorb all that knowledge. But I like them to be aware of other world views. I think it's important because we are becoming so interconnected as a world society. So let's think about this. You got a Becca, you got Bob Jones we've discussed. Now math. Let's talk about Saxon. Saxon started from an Oklahoma teacher. She was a public school teacher, and she wanted to teach the children differently. So that's the beginnings of Saxon. It started with a teacher. And the Saxon method is that they had to learn all the different principles for that lesson. They institute 1 or 2 new principles. When they have mastery of those principles, then they go on to the next lesson. But here's the pitfall. Saxon even tells you what to say to the student, the exact phrase. Today we're going to learn. I mean, and Matthew C. does that same thing. It tells you exactly what to say. And the downfall of Saxon, in my opinion, based on my experience as a home educator, is that one or two principles can get overlooked. Maybe your child made a 95 on their homework or a 90. And they had learned and proven correctly that they knew the other things that they were supposed to learn. But the two techniques that they were supposed to learn, maybe they didn't get it. And so the next week they end up getting an 80 or 85 because they're behind because they did not learn that principle, that technique that they were supposed to learn the previous week. You really have to keep on top of those 1 to 2 new principles, techniques that they're supposed to learn for that week. If you cannot keep your eye on that, that is not the curriculum for you. It will fail your student. And failure is not something we want on a consistent basis. Failure can teach us a great deal, but not on a consistent basis. We want our children to feel accomplished. And by that, they have to master those techniques. So, that's Saxon. And, I think that's where I'm going to leave it now. I have so many other curriculums that I want to talk about, like teaching art. How do you do that? What curriculums do you purchase, or do you find an art teacher? Maybe you can do both. I want to talk about the Stevenson language program. It's great for the child that has ADD or is dyslexic. Life of Fred, wonderful again for the child that's dyslexic. And conceptual thinking also. Life of Fred is a math series, by the way. I can't wait to talk to you again. I am so excited for us to learn together, and I hope I can learn a great deal from you too. And as always, I'm on Facebook, Angela's Homeschool. I have a Twitter that's called Angela's Homeschool. Please contact me there if you have any questions, or maybe you have some remarks, or unable to understand what I'm trying to get across, because I do have a tendency to meander because I get so excited. I do. Hopefully I'll be doing some videos as well. So I thank you for listening. So ends today another example of Angela's Homeschool. I wish you well in your learning. Class dismissed. Have a great day.